Because I saved my neighbor's daughter, my face was burned and disfigured. Not only did the neighbor not show gratitude, but they also blamed me for meddling, saying that if the firefighters had rescued her, her daughter wouldn't have suffered burns on her arm. The neighbor even demanded that I pay for her daughter's skin graft surgery. When I refused, my parents were burned to death in a fire that very night. Afterwards, I found out that it was the neighbors who did this. And when I went to confront them, they beat me to death. When I opened my eyes again, I had returned to the day the neighbor's house caught fire. In the past, she repeatedly claimed that if it weren't for me, the firefighters would have saved her daughter, and her daughter's arm would never have been burned. Choo-choo, does it seem like something is burning? Hearing my mother's voice, I opened my eyes, seeing the familiar surroundings around me. I couldn't help but freeze. And it took me a good while to snap back to reality. Out of habit, I reached for my phone by the pillow and discovered that the date was actually April 25th, 2024. I had actually been reborn, and it was just 5 minutes before I was supposed to save the neighbor's girl. In my previous life, it was because I saved this girl that I ended up with severe facial burns, completely disfigured, and my neighbor not only showed no gratitude, but even complained that I was meddling in their business. If it had been firefighters who came to rescue her, my Jiao would never have burned her arm. You really know how to stick your nose where it doesn't belong. If she had any conscience at all, she wouldn't say such things. Parking spaces are tight in our neighborhood, and the entrance is filled with residents' cars. By the time the fire truck arrived, the little girl was almost cremated. My neighbors didn't care about that and insisted that I was the one who caused their daughter's injury. They even threatened me to pay for their daughter's skin graft surgery, or else they would set our house on fire. Having been reborn, I will no longer be such a cheap do-gooder. I quickly got up, gathered all the important documents from home, and pulled my parents out of the house. Just as our family ran out the door, I saw our neighbor rushing out holding her young son. As soon as she saw me, she immediately looked at me as if I were her savior. Choo-choo, it's so good to see you. Please go help me bring Jiao out. She's still inside. Jiao has a sweet mouth, always calling me sister whenever she sees me. In my previous life, I also liked her very much. When I heard she was inside, I rushed into the fire without hesitation. Later, I was disfigured while saving her. When she saw me again, she kept calling me ugly and repeatedly told me to die. No. As I watch the thick smoke billowing from my neighbor's house, all I can do is sneer coldly, Auntie. Wait for the firefighters to come. I don't dare go in. My dad's heart softened and he wanted to play the hero and save them, but I gave him a hard pinch. Can't you see the fire is getting bigger? If we wait any longer, we'll all be burned to death. Hearing this, the first one to get up and run was Jiao's mom, who was holding her son. She scurried away faster than anyone. We ran out of the building, and a crowd of onlookers had already gathered below. Jiao's mother had run too frantically earlier and was almost completely exhausted, collapsing on the ground. I deliberately stood farther away from her with my parents, to avoid her coming over to bother me later. As soon as Jiao's mother caught her breath a little, she began begging the people around her to save her daughter. Unfortunately, no one around dared to go. Not even the 2 elderly security guards pretended not to hear her cries for help. And the other young people valued their lives even more. In the end, the woman actually came to me again, holding her son, looking at me pitifully and pleading, Choo-choo, I beg you, please help me save Jiao. I was so angry I laughed. I was almost the farthest from her in the crowd, yet she still managed to find me. The harshness and cruelty she showed me in our past life are still vivid in my mind. I didn't give her a friendly look. Is Jiao not your daughter? Why don't you go save her yourself? Why come begging me? And you're more robust than I am. You were even faster than me just now while carrying your son. In my previous life, I always gave her the image of a well-behaved girl, making her think I was an easy target. With so many strong men around, she didn't ask any of them for help but came to me instead, even after I refused. Jiao's mother not only didn't give up but became even more determined. Choo-choo, please help me. I'm really begging you. I was in such a hurry carrying the child just now that my legs have gone weak, otherwise I would have gone back to save her. Jiao cares about you the most as her sister. Are you really so heartless as to stand by and do nothing? If it weren't for my past life experiences, I might have actually believed that Jiao cares about me the most. Who is it that keeps calling me an ugly monster every day, thinking I harmed her, and even cursing me to die? I told her. Didn't you hear the sound? The fire truck is almost here. Just wait a little longer. The sound of the fire truck is still far away. Even if it comes, it'll get stuck at the entrance and won't be able to get in for a while. She's actually gotten smarter this time. Suddenly, someone shouted, I can't stand watching this anymore. Han Choo-choo, can't you hear Jiao crying and calling your name upstairs? If I were you, I'd risk my life to go up and save her. The person speaking is surnamed Go and lives downstairs from us. This person is good at nothing but excels at moral coercion, often judging everything with a saintly face. The moment his interests are slightly harmed, he becomes a completely different person, saying extremely unpleasant things. I've long been fed up with him, and now this guy named Go has come knocking on his own. Did you hear that? Someone is willing to risk his life to save your daughter. Hurry up and beg him. Jiajiao's mother was also getting worked up, looking at Uncle Go with hope in her eyes. Uncle Go, who had just been full of righteous indignation, instantly turned cowardly and hurriedly turned his head away, afraid to make eye contact with Jiajiao's mother. How could I easily let that bastard go off the hook? Don't you want to save your daughter? Hurry up and kneel down to beg him. He's a grown man. If you kneel and plead, he'll definitely go. Who doesn't know how to emotionally manipulate others? Jiajiao's mom actually went ahead and did it. She knelt down right in front of Mr. Go with a thud, tears and snot streaming as she began to plead. Mr. Go tried to turn and escape, but the onlookers firmly stopped him. Jiajiao's mom seized the moment to continue playing the victim. Brother Go, I'm begging you for real, Jiajia really likes you too, and she's so terrifying, you can't just stand by and watch her die. If you save her, I'll do anything to repay you. Mr. Go's expression changed, and he shook his head vigorously. Don't beg me, I can't save her, I'm afraid of fire. He's a grown man afraid of fire, while I, a young girl, am not. Such double standards are truly shameless. The onlookers then began to encourage the man named Go to rescue the person. Unable to withstand the pointing and whispering from the crowd, he finally gave in. Before leaving, he still played a trick on me. I'm not as cold-blooded as someone. I'm going to save people right now. After that guy surnamed Go left, Jiajiao's mother immediately came over to mock me. Our Jiajia always thinks of you when she has something delicious to eat, and she always shares fun things with you, despite her thinking of you as an elder sister so often. I never expected you to be such a disgusting person. After saying that, she even spat at me. Someone promised to rescue her daughter, so she found the energy to come and morally blackmail me, calling me disgusting. This family is more repulsive than anyone, and she did remind me that being unethical is truly hereditary. She's like this, and her precious Jiajiao is cut from the same cloth. In my past life, I was blind to go save people. In this life, she won't find it so easy to emotionally blackmail me. You really have no shame. You're Jiajiao's own mother. Why were you only focused on running away with your own son just now? You're so biased in favor of boys over girls. How heartbroken would Jiajiao be if she found out? If something really happened to her, could you, as her mother, live with yourself? Perhaps it was because I had given Jiajiao's mother the impression of being too obedient before. After I spoke a few words, she was left speechless by my scolding and began to throw a tantrum on the ground. How did I end up with such terrible neighbors? My life is so miserable. I treated her like a pile of dog shit and was pulling my parents away to keep our distance. Old man Go from downstairs dashed out of the building in a flash. Everyone thought a hero had returned, but to their surprise, he ran out alone. Jiajiao's mother, as if struck by a fit of madness, pounced on old man Go and started hitting him. My daughter is still inside. How could you run out alone? Go back and save my daughter quickly. If anything happens to her, I'll fight you to the death. Mr. Go had lost most of his hair to the fire, and his face was as black as if smeared with charcoal. He shook his head while coughing. The fire is too intense. There's no way to get in. Just as old man Go was in the middle of speaking, Jiajiao's mother slapped him across the face. He was instantly stunned by the blow. Get back in there. If you don't rescue Jiajiao, don't even think about living. Once Go regained his senses, he slapped Jiajiao's mother right back. Fuck you. I'm saving someone and it's taken for granted. No wonder no one wants to help you. With a mother like you, your daughter deserved to be burned to death. Jiajiao's mom is such a shrew. Most women, after being slapped hard by a man, would probably be scared and cry in a corner, but not her. She lunged back like a rabid dog. Watching these two freaks tearing into each other gave me an inexplicable sense of satisfaction. At that moment, I heard a very clear voice from upstairs shouting, "Choo-choo sister, please come save me. I don't want to die. I'll never call you ugly again." Hearing these words, I froze instantly. In my previous life, Jiajiao called me ugly only after I was disfigured in the fire. Now she can say such things ahead of time. Could it be that she has also been reborn, while I was still wondering? The firefighters arrived. They were faster than I had expected. While busy fighting, Jiajiao's mother immediately knelt down upon seeing the firefighters, grabbing one of them and begging him to save her daughter. The firefighter abruptly shook off her hand and dashed into the burning building. Due to the delay in the optimal rescue time, although Jiajiao was saved, her outcome was particularly tragic. She suffered severe burns all over her body. The worst part is the face. It looks like a ghost. In my previous life, after I was burned, she always called me ugly. Now, she is hundreds of times uglier than I was in my previous life. Before being carried into the ambulance, she grabbed my hand, her expression full of grievance and confusion. "Sister Choo Choo, why didn't you save me just now?" Looking at this ungrateful wretch in front of me, I responded irritably, "Didn't the firefighters rescue you? What are you still clinging to me for?" Jojo said with tearful eyes. "But you clearly saved me last time, that's why I didn't get burned. Why didn't you come to save me this time?" This confirmed it. She had indeed been reborn just like me. In that case, she actually has the nerve to ask me why I didn't save her. Has she been burned stupid? How did she treat me in our past life? Has she forgotten all about it? Then I need to give her a good reminder. I did save you before. But I ruined myself only to rescue an ungrateful wretch. Who is it that called me disgusting every day? Who is it that kept shouting for me to die? I said all that, but she pretended not to hear and kept playing the victim. "If you don't save me this time, I'm afraid I might die." I laughed and added fuel to the fire. "That's a good thing. The sooner you die, the sooner you'll be reborn." Jiajia's mother came over with a tearful face and was about to hit me, but my father stopped her. "What are you doing? If you have something to say, say it. Why resort to violence?" Jiajia's mother scolded. "It's all because of your Choo-Choo that my Jiajia suffered." She clearly had a chance to save Jiajio. Even my usually good-tempered father couldn't stand it this time. "What kind of nonsense are you talking? So many people didn't go to rescue. Why are you only targeting our Choo-Choo?" Jiajio's mother was still desperately making excuses. If Choo-Choo had gone into rescue when we first went out, Jiajio definitely wouldn't have been in danger. "This bitch, I've really had enough." I pulled my dad behind me and stepped forward to confront her directly. "If you wanted to save your daughter, you could have handed your son to us as soon as you stepped out, then gone back to rescue her. But your first instinct was to grab your son and rush downstairs. In my opinion, you're just biased, favoring sons over daughters. You don't truly care that Jiajia got burned. You're always concerned about how much dowry other families receive when their daughters get married, but you're just worried that with Jiajio being so spoiled, her dowry won't fetch a good price in the future. In my previous life, I noticed that Jiajio's mother favored sons over daughters, and it was quite severe. Jiajio was too young at the time and didn't fully understand such matters. It's also not appropriate to bring it up directly, as it could seriously affect family harmony. Now that I'm openly saying this in front of Jiajio without any restraint, it feels really satisfying. I owe it all to Jiajio's mom for giving me the courage. My words made Jiajio's mom tremble with anger, unable to speak. I was about to pull my parents away when she suddenly blurted out another sentence. "My husband will be back soon, Lin Choo-Choo. Just you wait, he definitely won't let you off." It was fine when she didn't mention her husband, but bringing him up just made me furious. Memories from my past life instantly flooded my mind. How her husband set fire to my parents and ultimately beat me to death. The deep-seated hatred from my past life will be avenged in this one. I'm actually afraid he won't come looking for me. On the way home, my mom said I was acting strange. "You never used to talk to Jiajio's mom like that before. What's going on with you today?" I gave a bitter smile and asked my mom. She was being so unreasonable. "And you still think I wasn't gentle enough with her?" My mom quickly explained. "I've never really liked her. She's always been two-faced, acting one way in front of people and another behind their backs. Her husband is even worse. Not only is he a heavy smoker, but he tosses cigarette butts everywhere. This fire might very well have been caused by him carelessly throwing a cigarette butt. As for Jiajio, don't be fooled by how cute she seems when she calls you sister. I've overheard her more than once saying nasty things about you in front of other kids, so seeing you stand up to her today really made me feel good." "Mom, I see." I quickly went to embrace my mother who had been lost and found again. The situation was urgent just now, and as everything settled down, the longing in my heart quickly consumed me. I buried myself in my mother's arms and cried loudly. My father didn't understand and came over to ask what was wrong, so I went and hugged him while crying. When I had cried enough, I told them about my rebirth. My parents didn't believe it at first, but they seemed to know that their daughter wasn't good at making up stories. After they accepted the truth of what I had told them, my mother pulled me into her arms again, crying even more bitterly than I had earlier. "My dear daughter, you've been wronged." My father, on the other hand, was furious. "That beast Qin Huang, if he dares to act recklessly again this time, I won't let him off." Qin Huang is Jiajio's father. Suddenly, I remembered what my mother said about Qin Huang carelessly throwing cigarette butts, and a plan came to mind. I told my parents to hurry home and pack their things, then move into a community with good security. At first, My dad didn't understand. Are we really afraid of that beast Qin Huang? I reassured my dad. Dealing with this kind of trash isn't worth risking yourself. Dad, just listen to me. After persuading my parents, I went straight to the mall and bought a lot of hidden cameras. By the time I got home, my parents had already packed up all the important things in the house. I then secretly installed cameras in many places. Isn't Jiao's mom saying her husband is coming to get back at me? Now I'm just afraid he won't come. After settling into my new home, I sat on the sofa scrolling through my phone and unexpectedly came across a video of the fire. When the gossip lands right on my own doorstep, how could I possibly let this hot topic slip by? I was just getting into it when suddenly, Jiao's mom's big round face popped up on my phone screen. Her expression was extremely distorted, as if she had suffered all the grievances in the world. The camera quickly shifted to Jiao. You could clearly see the scene of her being burned. I thought to myself, shouldn't this kind of video blur out the victim's face? But then I suddenly realized something and hurried to check the source of this video. I found that this news came from an account named Jiao's Mom. This account was clearly newly registered, as it had only posted this one video so far. Wow, already over 100,000 followers. While I was scrolling through this trending news, this account posted 2 more videos in a row. The mother in the video is so positive. Even though her daughter was burned so badly, she didn't complain or blame anyone. However, she kept playing the victim. This time, treating my daughter's illness will cost a lot of money, which is a devastating blow to us. But I will never give up on my daughter. I will sell the house, and anything in the house that can be exchanged for money. I will sell as much as possible. I don't need donations from everyone. Nowadays, everyone has their own difficulties. As the child's mother, I will use the limited energy I have to warm my child. The last statement is practically reminding netizens to donate. The netizens were really enthusiastic, all expressing their desire to donate money to Jiao's mom. At first, Jiao's mom pretended to refuse, but a comment with a phone number was quickly pinned to the top. This phone number belongs to that despicable woman. Jiao's mom, when someone asked if the phone number was hers, her response was also quite hypocritical. This phone belongs to my husband. Fellow netizens, if anyone has experienced treating burns, please call and share your knowledge with us. Using her injured daughter to play the victim and profit from others' sympathy, this woman truly keeps pushing the boundaries of human shamelessness. Her husband hasn't been idle either. The next day, I checked the surveillance video. The man I hated with every fiber of my being indeed appeared. In the video, he was frantically banging on my front door in the middle of the night. Then came the unrestrained cursing. The cursing also carried content, roughly meaning that I should take responsibility for the accident involving their Jiao. If I hadn't refused to save her, their Jiao wouldn't have ended up in such a miserable state. Therefore, I am to bear all the medical expenses for Jiao's treatment. In my previous life, I risked my life to save others, and they demanded compensation from me. In this life, I don't save people, and they still make me pay compensation. This family's face is thicker than a load-bearing wall. In the end, he even left a harsh threat. If I don't pay compensation, he will set fire and burn my entire family to death. As he said this, that idiot even flicked the ash from his cigarette. But since I installed surveillance cameras in many places, I have collected quite a few videos of Qin Huan littering cigarette butts. I couldn't help but laugh. Encountering such a pig-like teammate makes winning a battle feel unfulfilling. The account Jiao's mom is becoming increasingly popular. Netizens have also started sharing screenshots of their donations in the comments section. Many people donated a few or several dozen dollars. There were also many who donated over $100. One family donated tens of thousands of dollars. They explained that they were unable to save their own child who had leukemia, and they hope this money can help save Jiao, who was severely burned. I originally intended to cut my losses in time by posting the video of Qin Huan causing a scene at my doorstep, hoping to save netizens some money. Unexpectedly, the account Jiao's mom started a live stream right at this critical moment. The content in the live stream was extremely graphic. Jiao, who had severe burns, deliberately exposed all her wounds. Those wounds that have already festered are truly heartbreaking to see. Yet Jiao, who should have been receiving treatment in the hospital, is now lying in what is clearly a bedroom. The wounds that should have been bandaged remain exposed. Even though netizens have already donated a significant amount of money, she not only refuses to take Jiao to the hospital for treatment but also continues to exploit sympathy through live streaming. This is just ridiculous. Then it was Jiao's mom's turn to perform. She tearfully thanked the netizens, even saying that without their support, she probably wouldn't have been able to carry on. Many sentimental netizens couldn't handle seeing this scene and started showering their live stream with gifs like crazy. They are essentially finding another way to cut the leaks. I seized the moment and threw a fuse into the live stream. Have you identified the cause of the accident? How exactly did the fire start? Jiaojia's mother was clearly caught off guard by the question, and her expression turned somewhat uneasy. I continued to stir things up inside. The accident happened so long ago. The cause must have been determined by now. You must disclose it to serve as a warning for all of us. As soon as these words were spoken, netizens also began pressing for the cause of the accident. Jiaojia's mother hesitated for a long time and vaguely explained that it was a charging toy she had bought for the child, which short-circuited while charging and caused the fire. Quick-witted netizens immediately asked about the brand of the toy to avoid future pitfalls. I then dropped a bombshell directly. How come I heard it was Jiaojia's dad carelessly throwing a cigarette but that caused the fire? The next second, I was blocked and kicked out of the live stream. You think this way can stop me from speaking? You've seriously underestimated my determination for revenge. First, I posted several videos of Qin Huan littering cigarette butts on my social media account. Then, I switched to another account and returned to Jiaojia's mom's live stream. I was frantically tagging netizens in the live stream to watch the video I posted. As expected, I got kicked out of the live stream again, but when I went back, the atmosphere had completely changed. A group of netizens were questioning Jiaojia's mom in various ways in the live stream. I watched the video, and your husband really does have a habit of carelessly throwing away cigarette butts. Could it be that he caused this fire? I saw one of the videos where the trash can he threw his cigarette butt into caught fire. If someone hadn't come in time to put it out, it might have turned into a real fire. What kind of person is this? I was hoping the live stream would go viral, but it ended up crashing and burning. Jiaojia's mom had to cut the live stream short. Qin Huan called almost immediately, and the first thing out of his mouth was a string of profanity. I listened to him rant for a while, yawned, and replied, "You're insane," then hang up the phone and decisively block his number. Jiaojia's mother couldn't bear to let go of the financial opportunity that had come her way, so she started live streaming again the next day. When I discovered she was live streaming, I quickly sneaked in to watch the excitement. The time slot was different this time, and more than half of the viewers were new netizens. She started playing the victim again to scam people. There were also some skeptical voices, but she instantly kicked them out of the livestream. After all, these netizens don't have any deep-seated grudge against her, so they mostly just let it slide after being kicked out. But I'm different. My hatred for this family could fill several books. When the number of people in the livestream had increased enough, I started dropping bombs again. Before that, I posted another video on my account. It was a video of Qin Huan shouting provocations at my doorstep. There was also a video of the fire scene sent to me privately by someone living in the same neighborhood last night. Through the video, one can feel how unreasonable Jiaojia's mother is, her own refusal to save her daughter, constantly begging others for help, and then resorting to moral blackmail when others don't assist. Her ugly behavior is vividly displayed in the video. I will also post it on my account. Then I will let netizens to watch the video I posted. The live stream room collapsed even faster than last time, and the netizens' comments were even more sharp-tongued. How can there be such shameless people? They don't even try to save their own daughter, yet they have the nerve to ask others for help, and they claim their legs went weak. Why didn't they say that when carrying their son? Isn't it just because the daughter doesn't matter, but the son does? This kind of person is the most disgusting. This family is just a bunch of scammers. We should organize and take legal action to make them return all the money they swindled. The videos I posted had a destructive power comparable to a nuclear bomb, and even I didn't expect such an effect. Jiaojia's mother couldn't hold on for long and called again. This woman has a bit more brains than her pig-headed husband. She doesn't confront you head-on. Instead, she starts by apologizing. Choo-choo, Auntie knows she was wrong. Could you please delete those videos you posted? The videos you posted have hurt Jiaojia deeply, and she is now suffering from severe depression. She likes you so much and has always treated you like her own sister. Do you really have to push her to the brink of death? They're trying to guilt-trip me again. Some people never change. I let out a cold laugh over the phone and then delivered the words I had prepared long ago. The videos I posted are all based on facts, right? Are you afraid of others exposing what you've done, also? Don't pin the blame for your daughter's depression on others. Isn't it all your own fault? You have 2 children at home, yet you only saved one. Although your precious son is younger, he weighs much more than your daughter. Anyone with eyes can see that. You save your son but not your daughter. Any daughter in her place would be depressed, right? How dare you still have the nerve to blame others? Delete the video, not a chance. I'm letting everyone see just how shameless your family is. Jiajiao's mom finally snapped and viciously spat out the words, Lin Chuchu, just you wait, I will make you pay for this. No sooner had she threatened me than I immediately posted the video across various platforms and even paid to get it trending. I also mobilized my circle of friends to help share it. The effects quickly became apparent. Not only was Jiajiao's mom's account suspended, but it said that she's now busy refunding the donations from netizens one by one, keeping herself quite occupied. That bastard Qin Huang isn't much better either. Due to the significant impact of the incident, it has already spread to the company where he works. The company where this bastard works offers excellent benefits and pays well. As the incident continued to escalate, not only was his reputation completely ruined, but his habit of carelessly tossing cigarette butts was also exposed by his colleagues. Considering the company's reputation and safety, their company decisively fired him. Qin Huang, furious, came to my doorstep and first destroyed most of the surveillance cameras. Then, taking advantage of the building's layout disadvantages, he jumped onto my balcony and threw lit cigarette butts into my home one after another. This bastard actually set a fire openly in broad daylight. Unfortunately, he destroyed most of the surveillance cameras but missed the most crucial one. Although my family was clearly not at home, the balcony window was left open. I did this to make him mistakenly believe that our whole family was at home. I knew he couldn't change his old habits. After being fiercely retaliated against by me, he would surely resort to the same old tricks, just like in the previous life. I was just waiting for you to come and retaliate. About 2 hours after Qin Huang set the fire, I received a call from the property management. A very anxious voice asked if anyone was at home. I told her that everyone in the family was out, and only then did she breathe a sigh of relief, then informed me about the fire at home. I pretended to be very worried, but in reality, I was completely calm inside. I know exactly when the fire started, so what's there to worry about? After the fire was put out, my mom and I went back home to check, and the house was already burned beyond recognition. Almost everything was destroyed, and the scene was a complete mess. If we hadn't known that all these things would be compensated by the owner, my mom would probably have burst into tears. I first sent the video of Qin Huang setting the fire to Jiajiao's mom, then brought my family to the police station to file a report. I thought our family arrived at the police station quite quickly. I never expected Jiajiao's family to get there before us. As soon as I arrived at the police station, she and Qin Huang stopped our family. My dad was extremely agitated when he saw Qin Huang, pointing at his nose, and immediately started cursing. Qin, if you dare lay a finger on my daughter, I'll fight you to the death. Qin Huang actually still talked tough at this moment. It was your daughter who harmed me first. Before he could finish speaking, Jiajiao's mother slapped him twice across the face. She even dragged him over to kneel in front of me. Choo-choo, Auntie knows you're kind-hearted. Please help us by writing a letter of understanding. Jiajiao can't be without her father. If my husband goes to jail, our family will be ruined. Hearing this, I felt a surge of heat rush to my head, almost making me explode with anger. The resentment accumulated over 2 lifetimes completely erupted at this moment. Are you out of your mind? Your husband deliberately set my house on fire. He saw our windows were open and assumed all 3 of us were home. If it weren't for heaven's mercy, and our family happened to be away on business, we would have all been burned to death. If my parents were home alone, I'd be an orphan by now. Qin Huang has done such an unspeakably evil thing, and you want me to consider whether Jiajiao has a father? I wish your whole family would just drop dead. I handed the video of Qin Huang setting the fire to the police, and as I wished, he was sent to prison, because of her terrible reputation. Jiajiao's mother could no longer stay in the city with her child and had to move to a place where no one knew them. For several years after that, there was no news about their family, but I always felt that this matter wasn't over yet. One day a few years later, I suddenly received a phone call. As soon as the person on the other end spoke, I recognized who it was, Qin Jiajiao, the ungrateful person I had saved in my previous life. Her words on the phone took me by surprise. Having lived 2 lives, I've come to realize one thing: the person who treats me best is actually Sister Choo-choo. Hearing this, although I wasn't the least bit moved, I did feel a sense of resonance. There probably aren't many people in the world who would risk their lives to save her. After expressing her gratitude to me, Jiajiao began to share how miserable her life had been during this period. Her mother blamed all the family's misfortunes on Jiajiao, often beating and kicking her. She would also frequently imply that Jiajiao, now disfigured by the burns, was worthless and not worth raising anymore. Qin Huang was sentenced to prison for arson, clearly a consequence of his own actions, yet Jiajiao's mother still held Jiajiao responsible for it. Jiajiao also said that tomorrow is the day her father gets out of prison. Jiajiao felt that after her father returns home, he would probably beat her to death. Hearing this, I retorted, You can finally experience how your father beat me to death back then. Jojo cried and said that her previous life was also very tragic. Because of the scar on her arm, many men were bothered by it. Her mother, in order to sell her for a good price, actually sold her to an old man with a history of domestic violence. Not long after she married him, she was beaten to death by him. Jojo was quite self-aware, knowing that she was reaping what she had sown. She said that when she returned to this life, she originally wanted to thank me, but she didn't expect to arrive right at the moment of the fire. After that, everything was beyond her control. She had been wanting to find an opportunity to confess to me but couldn't find the right moment. Hearing this, I felt a bit upset for the first time. After a long silence, I asked her, "What do you plan to do next?" Jojo said she knew what she had to do, and calling me was just her way of saying what needed to be said, otherwise there would be no chance left. She spoke 8 final words and then hung up the phone. "Sorry, and thank you." A few days later, I saw a trending news story. The little girl encountered a fire twice, and her entire family perished. Clicking into this news article, I saw the names of Jojo's family. I suddenly thought, if this family hadn't been so immoral in their previous life, if I encountered the same fire situation in this life, I might still go to save Jojo, and her fate would be rewritten. It's just a pity that all the paths were chosen by themselves, and they can't blame others. Jojo, if you still have a next life, I hope you can choose the right path.